believe Pete Carroll be gone this season. I wouldn't even be surprised if both are gone.
All right. Mo, you got 49ers versus Seahawks. Who you got?
Offensively, 49ers, even with Debo hurt, their offense is clicking right now. Their running game, I think, over there, if I'm not mistaken, I know for a fact over the last 3-4 games, they're over 150 rushing per game. They might be close to 200. They've been running the ball effectively. They've made it so that Garoppolo doesn't have to go out there and just basically throw 30, 40 throws, which he's not. We know he's not that guy. Defensively, I'll take San Fran. Coaching wise, it is in the moment right now. I mean, of course, overall resume, you'll take Pete Carroll, but if we're talking right now, this season, you're going to take Kyle Shanahan. And overall, it's Seattle's the best right now. I truly believe Pete Carroll be gone this season. I wouldn't even be surprised if both are gone. If Russell Wilson says, I just want to change the scenery, I want a new start. But I truly believe Pete Carroll's not. He's going to, out of respect, they're going to let him finish the season, and I think that's more out of respect than anything else. I think if they didn't have respect for him, but he had the resume he's had, I don't think they'll let him finish the season. But I think they're going to let him finish the season out of respect.
That's the second time you said that, Mo.
I got San Fran winning. I got San Fran winning. Man, Seattle's offense is a mess. And San Fran's been balling. I'm going to say 30. I don't know. I'm going to say 30-21.
All right. 49ers versus Seahawks. Who you got? Offense. 49ers clicking, man. They're running the ball good. Even with Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk is back. Kittle's good to go. So they're hitting on all cylinders at the right time. Defense. Now, the Seahawks, I can't even say the Seahawks defense has been playing better, but I got to give 49ers defense the edge. That's just how it has to be. And coaching, I don't know, man. I like Pete Carroll, but everybody did not like the way San Francisco was. There was a lot of backlash against Shanahan. Is he a good coach? I know we said some things. And he's listen, they have the 6th seed right now, and they've beaten some quality teams. And gotta give it to Shanahan coaching. Normally this would be a game that I would be gushing over, right? This would be one of those matchups that I would really look forward to. I still do, but I just think that right now something's going on in Seattle. I think that it was probably started seeing at the beginning of the season where I don't know, they weren't, like the Seahawks of years prior, even last year. And then Russ got hurt with the injury. And then now I think everybody's really starting to see. And I know he's a hard worker. He came back, right on time. But I just think that his timing is off. Like DK Metcalf isn't getting the ball, which is awkward. So, I got 49ers in this one, and I have the 49ers winning in a big one, 28-20. All right. Corey, 49ers versus Seahawks. Who you got?
I know it's come up multiple times so far tonight, but Seahawks are a mess right now. The offense has looked awful since Russ has come back. I think he came back too soon. I do also think that his box score is a bit misleading for last week, because you look at the box score, you think he had a solid game, but no, they've put up 28 points total in the last 3 weeks. That's not enough at the NFL level. The defense hasn't looked great over the course of the season. This week, their saving grace might be Debo being out for the Niners. Just that, as I've said, their offense revolved around Debo, but with how much of a mess Seattle's been, you got to think Kyle Shanahan's going to be able to figure it out and get that win. This is the kind of game, though, that if San Francisco were to lose, I think it could quickly heat up that seat on Shanahan, because when you're fighting for a playoff spot, if you lose to a division rival that is in the state that the Seahawks franchise is in right now, that's rough, and that's almost unforgivable. Because honestly, you see a division rival whose franchise could be on the verge of imploding after 5 years ago, them being on the verge of having a dynasty potentially. You've got to be driving, that next nail into the coffin. I think Seattle is absolutely on the verge of facing some very serious questions about Russell Wilson's long-term future with the team, Pete Carroll's long-term future with the franchise. And I think could be close to everything imploding there. So give me San Francisco 20-12.
All right. Craig, 49ers versus Seahawks. Who you got?
Offensively, I'm gonna go with San Francisco. They seem to be playing a lot better. No Chris Carson now. On the other side, they're using Collins and Homer, I believe. And Russ just hasn't looked like Russ before he got hurt in that Rams game. And it's just like I think they won one game in like the last 6 or 7 games or something like that. But just the last 3 in general since he's come back, I mean, he just hasn't looked like the same quarterback. And I mean, for what it's worth, like they have better receivers than San Francisco. But like I don't know if I can trust Russ as far as what he can do with the football right now. I guess I can't believe I'm saying it, more than Jimmy Garoppolo right now. And I'm not a Jimmy Garoppolo guy right now. It's just the way that he's playing. I don't know if he's still hurt or if he's just I don't know what the issue is, but he's not playing like Russ was before he got hurt. So I'm taking the offense of San Francisco. I think Eli Mitchell's running the ball really, really great. He had like 130 plus yards last week. As long as he stays healthy, I think they're fine. They still have Jeff Wilson Jr., and so he's not a bad second option. Debo's been running the ball a lot. I think he had like 66 yards last week or something like that. So he's been running the ball as a wide receiver, which is, I mean, I guess, you're taking your best wide receiver and putting him at running back when you have a serviceable running back, in my opinion, in Mitchell, but whatever. Can't do that this week. Obviously, he's out most likely. Still have Kittle, so they still have a solid offense. It's just the way that Russell Wilson, if he was playing a lot better, I would probably lean towards Seattle, but the way he's been playing, I don't know if I can trust him right now. So taking San Francisco. Defensively, I'm taking San Francisco here. Seattle's defense has been pretty solid. 23 points against. Well, they didn't have their best quarterback, but they still gave up 23 points against Arizona. Then they gave up 17, I believe, last week against Washington. So they haven't been really terrible on defense. They look pretty solid. It's just I just trust San Francisco's defense a little bit more. Coaching wise, Pete Carroll, for what it's worth, the last 3 games, yeah. But before this, he wasn't really doing that bad of a job. I mean, he had Geno Smith as his quarterback trying to lead this Seattle team. He did decent. Like I just thought when Russ came back, or he was going to turn the ship around and they were going to have a chance to go to the playoffs. But that loss last week against Washington really hurt them. And then it pretty much they have to win out and get some help. And I don't think it's going to happen. But you know, I said it a few weeks ago. I thought that Shanahan's on the hot seat, and I still think he is. Obviously, you make it to the playoffs, then that kind of talk goes away because he hasn't really done nothing for the most part outside of that Super Bowl season. Which, I mean, you can't take that away, but that's, you know, it's part of it, I guess. But other than that, he really hasn't done anything. And then Jimmy Garoppolo's been in and out; he's been hurt, and but his record overall is positive. So I'm going to lean towards Shanahan for that. Obviously, overall, I would take Pete Carroll, but I kind of want to say Seattle. But after last week, after they lost, I thought they were going to win last week and then come back and then follow it up with another win and take that momentum and finish out the season strong. But I did pick San Francisco to make the playoffs, and I'm still sticking with that. So I'm going San Francisco here, 27-21.
Okay, yeah. So I think Russ was hurt, I think, October 7th. I think they only had one win.
Yeah, they got
Jacksonville
since then.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know, you got Geno back there. I don't know what you really expected from him.
They lost to the Saints. I think they lost to Pittsburgh as well. Yeah, but I get what you're saying. And I did too. I thought they were going to pick right back up. I think everybody did. When Russ came back, I thought it was going to be like, all right, you know.
Maybe not the first game.
But the second game, yeah.
They're playing a tough team in Green Bay. But yeah, the second game, I thought without.
They didn't score, though, man.
Kyler Murray, they didn't. But I mean, you know, you're on the road. They only gave up 17. But I thought the second game without Kyler Murray, they would, and no D-Hop, like,
they lost.
It didn't happen.
They scored 13 points.
I think everybody probably expected some rust for Wilson and Seattle's offense with him coming back, but to just look inept for multiple weeks. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Yeah. Corey, didn't you say they scored, 18?
28 points over 3 games.
28 points. That's bad. I'm looking at it now. It's like they scored 0, 13, and then 15. That's not good, man. It's going to be interesting. And I don't know if they.
Unless you got the 85 Bears defense, you ain't winning games with that.
Nah. And they don't have all the 2000 Ravens. I don't. Yeah, because Trent Dilfer was.
I mean, this schedule is not that bad in the stretch, though.
But Seahawks aren't going to win. They're going to have a.
They have won these last 2 games, and I think they'd have been fine right now. They've been 5-6.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
they'd been in it then, but
they'd have been in it. They look bad.
Too little, too late at this point.
I mean, they'd be lucky to go 2-2. At best they're gonna go 2-2. I mean, if they lose Chicago and Detroit back to back, Lord have mercy. They
lose to Detroit in general. Anybody.
If Seattle loses to Detroit, I think the wheels come off, and
it's time. It's time for a discussion.
Drama starts happening in that locker room.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's only one more game left, so they're gonna love to finish that last game. But Lord have mercy.